There was a man in ancient Rome who owned absolutely nothing. No house, no savings, no investments, no freedom. He was a slave, bought and sold like property. His master could beat him, humiliate him, or sell him at any moment. And yet, this man understood wealth more deeply than almost anyone alive today. His name was Epictetus, and the principle he lived by is the single most important idea in personal finance. Most people have never heard of it. Epictetus was born into slavery around 50 AD in what is now Turkey. His master, a man named Epictetus, was a powerful secretary to Emperor Nero. The story goes that one day, Epictetus decided to test Epictetus by twisting his leg. Epictetus looked at his master calmly and said, "You are going to break it." Epictetus continued twisting. "There," said Epictetus, when his leg finally snapped. "Did I not tell you that you would break it?" No screaming, no panic, no rage, just complete, terrifying calm. Because Epictetus had already learned the most important lesson of his life. There are things within your control, and things that are not. His leg, not within his control. His reaction to it, completely within his control. He called this the Dichotomy of Control, and it will change how you think about your money forever. Here's what most investors do wrong. The market drops 20% in a month. Their portfolio, which they've spent years building, loses a significant chunk of its value overnight. And what do? They panic. They check their accounts every hour. They read every alarming headline. They call their broker. They sell. And in doing so, they lock in the loss permanently. The market recovers. It always has. But they're no longer in it. They reacted to something completely outside their control and destroyed years of patient wealth building in a single emotional afternoon. Epictetus would have looked at this and said exactly one thing. You forgot the rule. The dichotomy of control applied to your finances looks like this. Within your control, how much you save each month, how much you spend, whether you stay invested during a downturn, your emotional response to market news, the systems you build, the habits you maintain. Outside your control, what the market does tomorrow, what interest rates do next quarter, what the economy does next year, what other investors do, what the headlines say. Read that list again. Everything on the second list, every single thing, is what most investors spend 90% of their mental energy on. Checking prices, reading predictions, watching financial news, comparing their returns to others. All of it outside their control. All of it completely useless as a financial activity. Meanwhile, the things that actually determine their financial future, savings rate, consistency, emotional discipline, get almost no attention at all. This is the trap Epictetus described 2,000 years ago, and it is more relevant today than it has ever been. Think about what modern finance has done to us. We have apps that show us our portfolio value in real time, not daily, not hourly, by the second. We get push notifications when markets move. We have 24-hour financial news channels whose entire business model depends on making you feel like something important is happening right now, and that you need to react. Epictetus didn't have any of this, but if he did, I think he would have said something like this. Every notification you read about something outside your control is a small theft of your attention, and attention, once stolen, cannot be returned. The modern investor is drowning in information about things they cannot control and starving for clarity about the things they can. Here is what the research actually shows. Studies in behavioral finance, the study of how human psychology affects financial decisions, have found something remarkable. Investors who check their portfolios more frequently earn lower returns, not because the market treats them differently, because they react more. Every time you check your portfolio and see a loss, even a small, temporary, completely normal fluctuation, your brain registers it as a threat. The stress response activates, and stressed brains make short-term decisions. They sell things that should be held for decades. They buy things they shouldn't touch. They confuse noise with signal. The investor who checks their portfolio once a quarter, who has built systems and then stepped back, outperforms the investor who watches it daily. Epictetus would not have been surprised by this research. He already knew. Freedom, he taught, begins the moment you stop trying to control what cannot be controlled. Now here is the practical part, because Stoic philosophy without action is just poetry. This week, I want you to do one thing. Take a piece of paper or open a note on your phone and draw 2 columns. On the left, things I control about my finances. Write everything down. Your monthly savings contribution, your spending decisions, whether you increase your investment this year, your emotional response when markets fall. On the right, things I don't control. Market performance, interest rates, inflation, economic forecasts, what other people earn or invest. Now look at the right column. Every item on that list, I want you to make a decision right now. I will no longer spend mental energy on this, not because it doesn't matter, but because your attention on it changes nothing, except your own state of mind. Now look at the left column. These are your levers. These are the only things that will determine your financial future. Pick one thing on that list that you haven't been doing consistently, and commit to it this week. One automated savings transfer. One spending category you'll reduce. One financial news app you'll delete from your phone. Small, specific, within your control. Epictetus eventually earned his freedom. He became one of the most influential philosophers in Roman history. His student Arian wrote down his teachings, and those words survived 2,000 years to reach us today. He owned almost nothing his entire life. He lived simply. He taught in a small school. But he was, by every meaningful measure, one of the freest men who ever lived. Because he had mastered the one thing that actually matters: his own mind and his own response to the world. He wrote, "Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens." That is not a philosophy of giving up. It is a philosophy of precision. Focus your energy where it actually moves the needle. Release everything else. That is how Epictetus lived. And it is, I would argue, the most powerful financial strategy ever articulated. If this resonated with you, I've put together a free guide called the Stoic Wealth Starter Guide. 7 principles like this one. Ancient wisdom applied directly to modern money decisions. The link is in the description and pinned in the comments. And if you want to go deeper, the next video is on Seneca, one of the wealthiest men in Rome, who said that chasing more money was the fastest path to misery. That one will challenge you. See you there.